because of technology, our people are able to make things of various varieties. But as a country, we've tried so much to ensure that we control the manufacture of counterfeits. Now our laws are very stringent, and it is not only Kenya that is suffering from counterfeit. Our neighbors, Taiwan, as well, have been a victim of these counterfeit products. But as I have said, our laws are very stringent. We are only asking Kenya as a country to also make sure that they have very strict legislation in place to ensure that if any counterfeit is able to get into their market, those that might have gone through other countries or others that come from other countries but have these labels that purport to have originated from China. This is an area that your laws should also be able to check and correct. Otherwise, we are doing as much as possible to ensure that no counterfeit products leave China to not only Kenya but any other country in the world. At the same time, we want to tell you that China goods have been tested and known to be one of the best products in the world. It is competing internationally, despite the bad image that is almost labeled against China because of these counterfeit products. Thank you very much.
Just add one more point, and this has been raised by the Honorable Minister for Trade for Kenya, and it regards the fact that the balance of trade between Kenya and China so much favors my country. And we wish to admit that that is the true position. But however, we wish to ask the Republic of Kenya probably to consider the historical facts that exist. Like in 1964, the trade between our two countries had the balance of trade favoring your country. So probably we would wish to encourage your country to participate more in the export market, and China is ready to support such kind of ventures as your country brings them to us. And we are sure that we shall be able to get more balance of trade between the two countries.
Thank you very much, Excellency, for your points. And we would like to encourage the People's Republic of China to strengthen their stranglehold on the counterfeiters so that we can work on this problem from the production side as well as the consumer side. On the issue of the imbalanced balance of trade, we would like to say that we agree that historically we were at par, but we have maybe you have surpassed us in terms of exporting, and in that regard we would also like to encourage the People's Republic of China to engage in one of the new upcoming markets that we are trying to bring up as the Ministry of Trade, which is in products coming from the arid and semi-arid areas like aloe vera, sisal, and according to our research, China is one of the major consumers of such products, and we'd like to see the country, your country, taking up more of these products. Thank you.
I may remember well, as the People's Republic of China, we were thinking of a possibility of setting up a center to deal with the issues of counterfeits in different areas. And we were thinking of Kenya. In fact, I think that was said. We just forgot to mention it. So that we bring our own people to verify that these are really our products. So you allow us, you give us a center, this will be controlled by us, so that later on we won't have the issue of saying that these goods are from our country. We want to build a good reputation for our country. So give us, if you can allow us, we can have a center here in Nairobi and of course in other areas with our own people. This will also help us to absorb the labor force that we have in our own country. We could negotiate on the percentage and still I think we'll go for 55% of those working in such centers.
Just to save on time, I would really appreciate if we can take this to the two ministers to discuss. That's the Ministry of the Republic of Kenya and the Ministry of the Republic of China. We can hold meetings and then we can channel the resolutions through the diplomatic channels. Thank you. Can we move to the next ministry, please?
Most obliged.
Ministry of Tourism. Honorable Minister, please guide us through.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have welcomed you, the Foreign Affairs Minister and the delegation of the People's Republic of China. Now, the relationship between the people of Kenya and the government of People's Republic of China date back hundreds of years back. Our two nations have always enjoyed cordial relations. Now, one such area that we feel that should flourish more is tourism. Tourism is one of our foremost foreign exchange earners, and we look for every opportunity to expand and grow our earnings. The people of Kenya are friendly and have often welcomed, lived with, and lived among the peoples of different nations. That's our heritage, our pride, Kenya's foremost wealth. We have welcomed peoples of all nations to Kenya and continue to do so. The number of Chinese visitors to Kenya has been on the rise. We acknowledge that, growing by 42% last year, as we seek to expand beyond our traditional markets. Statistics show that 35,000 Chinese visited Kenya in 2010, which is nearly 3 times the number that toured the country in 2005. They have been sampling the country's resorts, yet there's still immense potential, and Kenya wants a fair share of the more than $55 million that Chinese tourists are expected to spend in global travel. For the foregoing reasons, we as a government, we are hoping to engage through aggressive media campaign, through major Chinese cities, of cultural sites and safari through Kenya Tourism Board and Tourism Board. We are glad to tell you that we are opening new tourism circuits in Western Kenya, one of which leads to the ancestral home of US President Barack Obama, which you are most welcome to visit. We also hope to establish stronger linkages with the Chinese Outbound Tourism Research Institute to enable us to get exact figures of the people, the Chinese people who travel to Kenya as tourists. We also hope that from this meeting, we'll be able to sign a tourism protocol so that your government can list Kenya as a tourism or an unofficial tourism destination. We hope to expand in consultation with other ministries and other government agencies, bilateral air agreements to increase flights between our two countries, and in return, in collaboration with our immigration ministry as well as customs department, we continue to relax our visa requirements to tourists from China. We are glad to tell you that we are currently in the process of expanding the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to accommodate more traffic as well as larger aircrafts. In consultation with other relevant government departments, we shall in due course make it easier investing in our country. We also invite Chinese entrepreneurs to invest in hotels, training and health institutions, and financial services. The government also offers to host more Chinese trade fairs in Nairobi and major urban centers where we can showcase the tourist attractions that we have to the Chinese people. We shall also be participating in the Beijing Trade Fair and others that come up from time to time. Once again, we welcome you, Your Excellencies, and thank you for your time.
Your Excellency, Minister for Foreign Affairs from the Republic of China, kindly comment on our proposals, and also you can give us your proposals so that you can see how we can trade and come up with an agreement. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Madam Minister for Foreign Affairs for the Republic of Kenya. I'm responding on behalf of the Minister for Tourism of the People's Republic of China. First and foremost, I wish to register our appreciation as a country for the friendship that the Kenyan people have granted to our people, and the friendship that has existed between our two countries, especially in this area of tourism. And I wish to respond to some of the issues that the Honorable Minister for Tourism has raised. And I wish to inform the Minister for Tourism that the government of the People's Republic of China has already approved Kenya as one of the approved tourist destinations. What that means in China is that the people of China are allowed to purchase the foreign exchange that they may require as tourists to visit Kenya, and that shows that China considers Kenya as one of the major tourist destinations, not only in Africa, but also in the whole world. Secondly, I would wish to refer the Minister for Tourism to one of the agreements that we signed as government some time ago, which allowed the Kenya Airways to have direct flights to Beijing, and that one is already happening. Again, in addition to that, there is an agreement between Kenya Airways and the Southern China Airlines, and that one connects the tourists from Africa through Kenya to other towns in China, and that certainly guarantees Kenya a major market. So I hope I've responded to your issues, and I'll be glad to our delegation will be glad to have a tourism protocol based from these talks. Again, the issue of the trade fairs, we also wish to take an undertaking that we are actually encouraging the government of Kenya to exhibit in our different exhibitions, and we are giving an undertaking that we are going to support the Republic of Kenya in having the exhibitions in different cities in China. However, we wish to raise several issues related to tourism. First has been the issue of security. Our people, when they visit the Republic of Kenya, there has been several reports that have indicated that our people have not had the very good welcoming, and I wish that the government probably addresses that issue. And secondly, China intends to invest in this sector, and we would probably request that we may have probably a concession or a PPP involving hotel investments, especially in the central region of Kenya. We are interested in investments around the Mount Kenya region, and we would be interested to hold further talks regarding to that. We appreciate and we thank you for your kind regards.
And on bilateral air agreements, we are ours was to put forward a request that we expand them. We know we already have 2, Kenya Airways and the Chinese airlines. But if we could expand to have more flights between China and Kenya, probably that could work to increase the number of tourists coming to Kenya and vice versa. Secondly, on the issue of investment in Kenya, we have already given you an undertaking that you are welcome to invest in Kenya. However, the areas that you have picked on, probably you may not be able to give a final undertaking at the moment, but in due course we can give you. Thank you.
What my colleague has said, Your Excellency, we appreciate your thoughtfulness to invest more in Kenya. As my colleague has said, we will look into the issue of investing in hotels in Kenya. That's not a difficult thing. But to add on to that, we've created the special economic zones and welcome people from China, investors, to come and invest in whatever venture they feel comfortable with. I think with this will not only benefit the people of China, but it will also help bridge the gap in exports that our colleague mentioned some time back that were actually import-oriented. Thank you.
We also want to assure the Chinese delegation that the issues of security are, Kenya is highly committed to issues of security and is greatly committed to ensuring the safety of everyone who is in Kenya, whether coming into Kenya or within Kenya. And to that effect, the budget was increased to ensure that security has been beefed up. So we are strongly committed to the issues of security. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable and Your Excellencies. Before I close this ministry, do you have anyone who has a comment?
We would also like to take this opportunity to encourage Kenyans also to come and tour China. We have very good medical facilities, and you could sample our medical tourism. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellencies. I would wish to get a point of clarification. I've heard so much about what you're going to provide as a country, Kenya, about the issue of tourism. Now, as you know, China as a country, English is not their medium of language. They don't use English as a medium of language. Now, what is Kenya? I've not heard you how you're going to encourage more people from China to come and visit Kenya. What have you done as a country so far? Because you know, because of language barrier, you cannot depend on science to explain about Kenyan tourism. What have you done as a country so that you encourage more Chinese people? Because that is what we've been facing. They come, maybe they explain an elephant is a dog. Because of the description, they can't tell the name in China because they've never seen one. What do you intend to do about it? I've not heard you as a country talking about it, because that is the major issue. How are you going to break the barrier, language barrier between China and Kenya, so that you can encourage more Chinese people to come and visit Kenya as a country as regards to tourism?
As all of us were aware, we already partnered with the Ministry of Education, China government, the University of Nairobi, the Institute for Linguistics. We already have Confucius Institute, where we have a number of students who are attending the course. And in this way, I believe by the end of the course, because it's already been integrated into the university curriculum, we'll have also our students who will be able to speak and write Chinese, who can also guide the Chinese visitors to Kenya. Let me hand it over to my Minister, Honorable.
Thank you again, Excellency. On the issue of Kenyans traveling to China, I think it's a very good idea, and I would also like to encourage the government of China to increase its presence in the Kenyan market in terms of advertising and informing. That part still lacks it still lags behind in terms of information for the Kenyans who are wishing to go to China. I would also like to request in that same regard that the government of China relaxes the requirements for tourist visa to China to encourage more travel in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me also comment on that. We also have media stations like Xinhua, that's China News Agency, China Radio International, and we also have the CCTV station already in Kenya. So through this, I've seen a number of programs whereby the Chinese and the Kenyans, they are teaching Swahili, Chinese, and I'm sure we're reaching out a lot of people. Through this, we are able to bridge the barrier for communication.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I would like to comment that on the issue of language, Chinese as a language is being taught in various institutions apart from universities. I speak on behalf of the Ministry of Education, and we have some schools in secondary school level which are teaching Chinese as a language, so that will not be a problem. Thank you.
I appreciate the efforts that the government of the Republic of Kenya has put into place to enhance our friendship, and we so much particularly appreciate the presence of the Confucius Institute in the University of Nairobi. As far as the issue of the visa fees for tourists from Kenya is concerned, this is going to be discussed among the cabinet, and it's going to be responded to your government through diplomatic channels. Again, the issue of advertisements, we appreciate that Xinhua is actually broadcasting in Nairobi, but we are going to see how we can integrate our advertisements to other media in your country, and we appreciate the support that you are receiving from the government of Kenya. We agree that we may move to the next ministry in this discussion.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. I'd like us to move forward. Let's go to the, sorry? Okay, thank you, please.
On the issue of visa regulations regarding Kenya and China, we want to pledge to the Chinese government to allow Kenyans to get visas at the point of entry. They should retaliate as we do to them. We can give Chinese visas when they enter Kenya, but when you want to visit Kenya, we need to apply in advance. So can Chinese government go easy on us? That's why we don't have many tourists visiting China. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Back to you, the Excellency Minister for Foreign Affairs, China, please.
Taking that this is going to be looked into, we are going to communicate to the government through diplomatic means.
The Ministry of Labor, I'd like to hand this to Honorable Minister for Labor, Stanley.
Thank you, Excellency. On the issue of labor, we have had a long-standing cooperation in terms of labor exchange, although it has been imbalanced in terms of Chinese workers coming to Kenya, but we still appreciate the work that has been done. Chinese companies have proven to be quality in terms of the infrastructure projects that they have taken up. For our ministry, I would like the comment of my counterpart on two issues. That is, first, immigration issues. I would like to hear a comment about the matter of the increased Chinese laborers coming into Kenya. We have had an outcry that there might be some Chinese people coming in and doing jobs that maybe are not exactly meant for them. Perhaps they came in on to work on the roads but tend to go into other businesses. I would like to hear a comment on that. And also the issue of transfer of skills. In this I mean that what is the Chinese government doing about once your projects are done, are you taking up the training of Africans or Kenyans are you training them on the maintenance of these projects that you've already constructed? Thank you.
Your Excellency, Minister of Foreign Affairs for the Republic of China, kindly comment on that.
I wish to request my colleagues to respond.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, for this opportunity to be able to respond to what my counterpart from Kenya has requested us to. And we start by appreciating the fact that Kenya has opened up space for us as Chinese people to come to the country and help in construction, especially in roads and other buildings. We really take that as a positive sign in our relations that date back to 1964. We also want to appreciate that you have accepted us here. We have laborers who come to this country from China, and we want to point out that the people who come here mainly are the people who are quite technical, and from the understanding that the Kenyan people may not be able to handle the machines that we operate. As you might have noted, especially for the current project that is happening on Thika Road, the upgrading of Thika Road, you will notice that there is always a Chinese and a Kenyan working together, operating the machines. And that might answer your question on what we are doing about the transfer of skills. We hope that by the time the project is over, among other projects that we may not mention in this sitting, they will have learned how to operate the machines, and while we exit, they'll be able to run efficiently. On the part of immigration, you have pointed out the issue of increased laborers. I wish that you would clarify what you mean by saying that when our people come here, they get involved in other business other than what they have come here to do, because it might be better if you clarify so that we can answer you appropriately. Up to that point, yeah, we rest there.